ladies, and welcome to the Beauty Shaman. So today I am having a personal stylist join me. Her name is Andrea FauX. We both are writers for 60andMe, and I'm a big fan of 60andMe. If you don't know about it, look down below. I'll put a link for that. But I have wanted to interview a personal stylist. I am not a personal stylist. I sometimes style for photo shoots and that sort of thing, but I don't do personal styling. And I tried it a couple of times. I was no good at it. So I'm very happy to introduce you to Andrea, who is going to talk today about trend. But let me tell you who she is. She is a personal stylist who specializes in using what's called human harmonics, applying the principles of art to human design so you can shop for the real you. Shop for the Real You is the title of her website and her book, her best-selling book. Thank you so much for joining me, Andrea.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. And I love your style. I think you're a great stylist.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm good at it. I'm not like, kind of where you're at with it all when it comes to personal style. I mean, I'm really good at, like the visual of a shoot. And that's because that's my training, right? But no, I love what you do. It's definitely a very special gift, a special niche, I think, to have your knowledge. So let's talk about what a lot of older women ask, and I think is an important question, which is trends, right? Because trends, oh my gosh, they come and go, and some of us just ignore them, like go away. And some trends are super dumb, right? So let's talk about how long does a trend usually last, and why should we care?
Well, the trends they have kind of an arc. They come in and they get, kind of intense, and then they trail out and then they morph. And so the essence of them is about 3 years, but then they'll change a little bit. If the trend suits your style, it becomes a perennial. It's not trendy. It suits you forever. But I think everybody wants to stay a little bit ahead of the curve, just to feel like they're part of growth and evolution. And good fashion is like art. So you want to be artistic in how you express yourself in the best way. So that's what I can say about trends.
I think that's great because a lot of times we look dated. And I notice this, a lot of older women I work with on sets walk in and I'm like, ugh, it's dating you. Maybe her content is amazing. She's written a great book, whatever she's done, but it gets lost a little bit because she doesn't look current. And so trends are an important topic. And I'm really glad that you want to talk about this. So let's start with a trend that is very, very big right now. And I was in the store yesterday, so I saw it all over the place, and that is cutouts. So let's talk about cutouts in clothing, what that's about.
Yeah. Well, so I think this started maybe about 4 years ago, where you started seeing the open, just the open round shoulders. And a lot of women were wearing them and they look nice on resort wear. And then it got a little bit dated, as you said. But as I said, they've changed a little bit. And there's some really sophisticated looks now with these cutouts. The younger women, and my demographic is older. If you're under 30 or 35, sure, go ahead and show as much skin as you want. You're shopping for a partner. But I think for most people, you can embrace the trend because showing some skin is a feminine way to express yourself. And so there are some very interesting ones that have kind of angular cutouts that show a little bit of the skin, or maybe on the, on the seam of the dress, that are actually kind of pretty and interesting, and they add a little bit of drama. So they do add a little drama. And if you have no drama in your personal style, if you're just like a perennial youthful like Betty White, who turns 100 next month.
Oh my gosh, I love Betty White.
Maybe that trend won't quite work for you. But if you want to be a little bit daring or go to a very special event, something with a cutout might be pretty. And then the other way to play this is with the open shoulder look, not just open shoulder, but the below the shoulder look.
Right.
Now, I personally think that even for older women, it's a beautiful look, because this part of the body, the portrait section, is where you want the attention to go, especially as you age, since other things may not be as nice below.
Things start to go a little amok.
So you keep their faces beautiful, and then I say, why not show it? So the portrait area is beautiful, and if you want to wear an off-shoulder top, even for an older woman, it's not salacious. It's actually it's actually very kind of feminine and pretty. So I think that's a kind of a nice trend that you might consider.
I think that's wonderful. Now, who wouldn't be able to do that trend, do you think?
Who wouldn't be able to?
Wouldn't be able to.
Well, if you are very sensitive, if your skin is kind of wrinkled, or you just are a more modest type. I know I look very modest in this, but I would wear it.
Yeah.
If you have a little bit of high spiritedness, sure, go ahead. If you have some romantic, definitely wear it. If you're real kind of natural and outdoorsy, it might look a little incongruous on you. But if you're classic, that might look actually kind of pretty, and definitely for a dramatic type could do that.
I love that. I think that's really true. And like the cutouts don't have to be like in the side. I saw this one shot that it was in the side. I was like, I'm not going to show myself. My side is not that attractive. It's a little bit lumpy, you know what I mean? So, but maybe like you said, the shoulder and that sort of area would be super flattering.
Sometimes they come angular like this. It's very interesting.
Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, let's move on to another trend. Let's talk about pants. Okay, so pants went from skin tight, fitted down to the ankle or maybe slightly above. And now we're seeing, of course, it's going wide leg. So let's talk about wide leg pants.
Well, if you see a trend in one direction, you know that the next iteration is going to be the opposite, because how can they sell things unless they make the last one dated? But, for some people, skinny jeans and cigarette pants is what we used to call them in my day, will still be fashionable for you and you'll still find them. But the wider leg trend is, I think it's a spin-off from, we've had to spend 18 months at home not seeing anybody. So everybody's been wearing their sweatpants and they're used to being very comfortable. And this is kind of the extension of that. So you're seeing a lot of them are either high waist. You are going to be seeing a lot of the younger women wearing these below the waist, like from the 70s.
Yeah.
And very loose. I do not recommend that.
That's a hard one. Yeah.
The sort of Katharine Hepburn look, where it's kind of a drapey, loose, casual, elegant look. A lot of people can wear that.
Right.
If your legs are very short, or if you're tiny, or if you're so let me go back. If your legs are short, a wide leg pant may make you look a little shorter. So you have to be very careful on how it's tailored and how wide the hem is. If you're tall, it's gorgeous. I like these. I think they are very serviceable, because we'll talk about that in one of the next trends, but they create some groundedness in you, which we haven't had. Everybody's been so, where are we? What are we doing now? And so there's kind of a statement, it's a little dramatic. It's very natural. It could be classic, maybe not so much youthful or high spirit. It could be high spirited. Many people can wear the wider leg trend. It really depends on your body shape.
Yes. I was going to say, because I love wide-legged pants. I recently bought some wide-legged jeans and
how tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
Oh, a model.
So I love them.
Fabulous in them.
Well, so here's kind of the caveat to that, is that I'm hippie. So I run and bike and I'm super athletic, and I've got that kind of hip, it's there, it's not going anywhere kind of shape. So sometimes the wide-legged pants are just, they accentuate that, right? So I have to watch the cut, right? So it's a bit tricky if you have more hips, right?
Well, so if you carry a little more in your hips, or if you are hippie, then you can wear it slightly below. You can have the waist slightly below your natural, waistline. I would not, maybe a higher, if you have a longer torso, you could wear a higher waistline, and that will start to move out fat, before your hips show. So that would help. In general, wide leg pants are very nice for women who are hippie or who carry a lot of weight in their bottom. So that's another trend. That's another reason why that trend could work for a lot of people.
Right. I do think it's the cut, don't you? Like so much of like I put them on. It's like I have one pair that I absolutely love from Lafayette, New York. Is it Lafayette, New York? The brand. Anyway, oh my God. I put them on. I'm like, I look amazing. I just dropped 5 pounds. Like, you know what I mean? It really helps. And I've got other ones I put on. I think, woo, this is not working. So it really does depend on that, right? But they're so chic, I think.
It depends absolutely on the cut. You know, I wrote another short book called She's Got Good Jeans. And before I wrote it, I tried on 100 pair of jeans. And, you know, every one of it, even the real expensive ones, they're cut for certain bodies. You
Right.
just have to find the right manufacturer for your body shape.
Right. I think that's very true for anything,
That's true.
Totally. Okay, so let's go about, let's turn into outerwear. So all of these can be worn together. Let's put that also on the table, right? Because these are all like
Right.
you kind of put an outfit together as we go through this, which I love that, you know, that was kind of the way you want to structure this, which I think is brilliant. So let's talk about outerwear. There's some changes in outerwear, which are kind of funky. So let's talk about puffer jackets.
This is such a fun trend this
Yeah.
year. What they're showing is a lot of shorter jackets. Now, there are perennials that almost everybody can wear at any time, which is the tailored sort of Milton coat or a trench coat. So those are forever wear. But if to play it up a little bit and have a little fun, you're seeing a lot of chunky short coats. And the first one is going to be the puffer coat. So, you know, when the weather gets cold, you're going to see a lot of puffer coats come out. Unless you're having an Arctic, you know, one of those Arctic events, and it's going to be cold for a very long time, where you're going to want something longer to cover the rest of your body. The short puffer jackets can be a lot of fun, and they're making them more interesting now. Some of the materials are kind of shiny that look like a polished cotton or almost look like leather. And then every color you could think of. There are some with wrapped collars, there are some with large collars, and they're just make the winter season so much more fun. So I think that's a really kind of a cool trend, and really almost anybody can wear it. If you're extremely classic, I would not necessarily recommend one of those because there's something youthful and playful about it.
Right.
And it sort of goes against that style. But then there's another trend that a more classic type could wear, and that is the short faux fur jacket.
Oh, I love this so much.
I know, I do
I
too.
love it. What I had to hold back from buying because I took my daughter shopping and we bought her a puffer jacket yesterday, actually, believe it or not. But I was looking at these faux. I was like, oh my God, this is so me. Like it's so me. And I
Oh,
was like, but I thought if you could see how many coats I have, it's like ridiculous if I buy another coat. But and I have every type, like I'm crazy. But though that is so fun. So go ahead.
they are so much fun. You know, several years ago, I bought a short faux fur leopard coat at Macy's. It was on sale in the petites department. And every year people stop me on the street and say, where did you get that jacket? So this year, and you usually see leopard and animal, this year it's color. It's
Color,
all
yes.
color. You
Loads
are
of color.
seeing them in bright green, in orange, in pink, and blue. And interestingly, they don't look cheap or weird. They look chic. I mean, that's the only word I can think about. They're kind of cute and fun. They would work very much, depending on the color, for a youthful type. But if they're a more subdued color, a classic type could certainly wear them. And, you know, if let's say, for example, you're wearing a sweater with a cutout and some wide leg pants, a short jacket like that, furry, is a perfect complement. You have a whole outfit right there.
Right.
And, you know, it's a wonderful way to bring the whole thing together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love this trend. I think it's kind of fun and playful, and I think, you know, I think it's a kind of thing that will, if you go for it, it's not going to look so dated because it's a little bit out there. You know, it's a little bit, you'll not see it very often come again. And so it could be a perennial for you.
Yeah. And you know, I would like to throw in there that you don't have to spend a lot. Excuse me, my computer making noise here. You don't have to spend a lot. I mean, we were in, I think it was Zara, and we were in H&M because I was with my daughter. She's 18.
Right.
And I was like, that's not expensive. Like I was so tempted, right, to get one, and I didn't because I have a billion coats, but I thought, well, okay, I think sometimes we get these ideas like, oh, I have to go buy, you know, a Ralph Lauren, whatever. Like we get these ideas, but that's not true. Like you can get cheap ones.
Yeah. Oh, and that's one more thing I wanted to mention. If you're wearing something short and chubby on the top, then unless you are tall, like you are, Suzanne, keep the bottom more fitted. Otherwise, you create two chunks. So if the top is full, keep the bottom a little more fitted. If the top is fitted, you can keep the bottom a little more full. You want to have some balance on both ends. But I think this would work with the wider leg pants as long as, as long as the proportions. Proportion is everything.
Yes. And so many women I notice who go on, because I deal with on-camera talent, will wear baggy things because they feel like they're big and they want to kind of hide. And yet the opposite is true. You need to wear fitted things so that you look slimmer and be bold and be confident. It shows your confidence. And so I'm always trying to talk. I feel like I'm like trying to always talk women out of doing that. Like, no, it's okay for it to be snug on you. So
absolutely. I love that. I completely and totally agree.
Right. Okay, so let's move on to the shoes. All right, we've hit the coats. Let's do the shoes. So, I mean, there's this trend I'm so in love with. I am trying really, really hard not to like go buy like the most expensive pair of shoes because I love loafers, and that's what we're talking about here is loafers. This sort of stems from the men's side of things, right? They're a little bit masculine looking, but with our lovely, you know, fur faux jackets.
Absolutely.
How wonderful of a juxtaposition there. So let's talk about loafers.
Right, that's a whole outfit, and that takes you from top to bottom. Yeah. And the thing that's wonderful about the loafers you're going to see now are chunky sole. First of all, they give you some elevation, and this is a way to have the elevation without wearing heels, because a lot of women are tired of wearing heels. They're used to not wearing heels because they're not, because of COVID, they've been locked down, not going to work. They're grounding. They're a nice balance for a wide leg pant, but a lot of young girls are wearing them with skirts of all types, and they're very attractive to wear them like that. And they're very comfortable, especially, and you can get them at every price point. I've seen them from Walmart to Stuart Weitzman, and they're attractive looking. Now, who will wear them? They are a menswear style. They work very well for a natural type, for a high-spirited, for a dramatic. Classics can wear them, definitely. And even youthfuls, because depending on the kind of design on the shoe. So there's almost everybody can wear this type of shoe. And how long will this trend last? I bought a pair about 2.5 years ago at Aerosol, and I didn't wear them last year, but I'm wearing them now, and they're in style. So I think it's going to be, for certain people, they'll last a long time.
Yeah. Wonderful. And I'm so glad because I love it. So let's hit the last one here. We have a few minutes left. So the last one is a knit midi dress. So knits are great, right? Especially I find knits because it's a thinner, right? It's a thinner fabric. It's not super bulky because we've got the faux jacket and we've got, all this, some bulk on us. So this is a smaller, not smaller, but it's different fit. So let's talk about that, about knit dresses.
Right. It's a more feminine look. And I've even seen women of all sizes wear them and look attractive. Yeah. The midi length is attractive. And if you wear them with one of those short jackets, especially one of the furry ones, it's very pretty. You can generally, the long sleeve makes it a little bit more, that they're demure and they're sexy at the same time. Right. So I just think they're a fun trend. And I think this is a kind of dress that would have longevity in your closet. So check those out.
Yes, wonderful. I love that. And there's some great colors out there too in knit dresses. Like I said, I just was shopping yesterday with my daughter, and I didn't share this with you earlier, but my 18-year-old is studying fashion design in London. So she is, talk about a fashionista, she just knows what's going on way more than me. And so we were like looking at all these lovely knits, and she's super slim, and I'm like, you can look great in this. But as I looked at it, I did think, okay, even though I've got some hips and I got a chest, like I could pull it off. So yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah. I love that.
So I think it's a great trend. I think it could be something that would stay in your closet a very long time and be attractive. You can wear them with colored tights. You can wear them with these chunky shoes or with a short heel.
Right. And I love them with the loafer. I think a knit dress with loafers
I think it's really cool.
with a faux jacket and like bright red lips. I've totally can't you see it? And maybe some really funky big sunglasses or something.
I'm telling you, you're a stylist.
Well, that's what I do, right? I'm thinking the picture, right? I'm thinking photography, but oh my God, how fun and delicious. And I love it when older women just do it, right? They're like, I'm going to just rock it today. And I just think, why not? It's so much fun. So, and I love that you bring that sense of play to it. I think that's a great thing to do, to not look at it like, oh, I got to try to look nice, but like, no, let's have fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Andrea. This has been wonderful. And I'm so glad for your wisdom and your knowledge around this and all of your creativity. So thank you so much. And, I definitely encourage ladies in the audience, if you're interested in getting some help with your personal styling, I know Andrea also has some courses on her website. I definitely recommend her. I think she absolutely knows what she's doing and talking about and is so personable. So definitely check her out. And thank you so much, Andrea, for joining me today on The Beauty Shaman.
Thank you, Suzanne. It's been a delight.